we doing today? So today is episode 11 of the VW Bug Chronicles. Enjoying some Chianti. So when we last left off, as you know, once Myrna here warms up, she stalls and we can't start for several hours. And I believe that fuel is pushing past the needle in the seat of the carburetor, flooding her out and preventing us from, one, running when she's warm and having to wait several hours for the fuel to evaporate before she'll start again. So what I have done, a couple things. Well, one side note, I did buy some vacuum caps. So we'll put these on, which hopefully, if there are any air leaks, which I believe there are, they will be mitigated and eliminated. Two, I finally found some T-fittings, little 1/4-inch T-fitting. And yes, my buddy Brian went to a Home Depot and found one, immediately. It took me a while. I went to a couple, as I had mentioned in a previous video, and couldn't find any. Found different sizes. He walks right in. He's like magic. He found one. But I have some. I bought some off of Amazon. And I have assembled. Here is my PSI gauge that actually will measure small enough, surprisingly, just 1 pound at a time. I don't know if you can see the gauge. Because I believe that the pump is pushing somewhere between 5 and we'll say 8 PSI. And the reality is, for this vehicle, the fuel should probably be at 2.5. So I have assembled, using that T-fitting, something that will measure the PSI coming out of the fuel pump. And hopefully, it will register higher than 2.5. Hopefully, somewhere like 5 or 6 is what I'm hoping, because that will prove that I might be right. And from that standpoint, assuming that that works, I have here somewhere a fuel regulator, pressure regulator. So let's just pretend that it puts out 6.5 PSI. I can set this regulator to 2.5, and I'm hopeful that that will solve our problem and we won't have the flooding, if you will, that we've been having. I think I'm onto something. I don't know, but the only way we're going to know for sure is to go around to the ass end here at Myrna, set this up, fire it up, and see what the PSI is. So, well, you know what? Let's finish our drink, and let's go do that. All right. We have it all set up. There's our gauge, T-fitting, going right into the carburetor, just after the filter, etc., etc. All I really need to do right now is walk up front, start her, walk back, and see what we got. So let me start her. I'll be right back. Down to 2.5, maybe 2 pounds. I'm gonna do a little reading and see exactly how many pounds it's supposed to be. But I would say it's definitely too high. Too high! So I think that's good news. All right. So, well, this will be a short episode. I've got some things I've got to do this weekend. So, for episode 11, we've established too much PSI. To be honest, I don't know how accurate that gauge is, but it's definitely too much. So we're gonna put the regulator in, take it down to, after I do some reading, maybe 2 pounds, and see if that solves our problem. Anyway, kind of exciting. I think we're making some progress. Shit, right now it's in 4 pounds. 4 pounds! 4 pounds! Look at that! 4 pounds, kids! Look at her climb to 4. I know that's too much. You guys see that? 4 pounds? 4 pounds is way too much. So this is excellent news. I'm very excited. So, if everything I'm reading and Google is telling me is correct, you know, I'm 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds too high. So again, we're going to put that regulator in and rinse and repeat, and hopefully that solves our problem. But as you can see, four pounds, that's too much. Great news. But again, as I mentioned, I've got some other things I have to do this weekend, so this is going to end chapter 11. But as always, in this world, when you could be anything you want, you be kind, you be humble, you be forgiving, you be melting snow, and remember, have a little fun. It's later than you think. Stay tuned for episode 12. We're going to put that regulator on and see if we get Myrna on the road. Yes! Well, look at that. Even after a few minutes of running almost to operating temperature, I shut her off and we're still sitting solidly at 4 PSI. So I honestly think we're onto something here. I think this is really, really good news. Anyway, really good news. So we'll see you in episode 12. Thanks for watching. Bye.